The fourth part of the package we're talking about is another thing that we can do in our support of Israel. There is a group of people who are seeking to target Israel through a series of boycotts and disinvestments and sanctions. These are not usually government, they're individuals and institutions trying to harm Israel by boycotting any kind of business there. This anti-Israel activity is shameful. Those who promote it should be penalized.
Hi everybody, my name's Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. Thanks a bunch for tuning in. I hope you're finding something of value here. I truly do. All right, so this Senator Roy Blunt from Missouri must be jailed immediately in order because he has broken his sacred vow to the people of the United States to protect the Constitution. And I call it a sacred vow because he put his hand on the religious text of his choice. I'm certain in his case it was the Bible. He put his hand on a Bible, basically swearing to God that he will protect the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. The Constitution being the Founding Fathers' document that lays out your rights as a human being, your rights as a U.S. citizen. And the very first of those rights is the First Amendment to the Constitution, which is the right of freedom of expression, the right to say what you feel needs to be said. And I've talked about this again and again. It's why I don't censor you. You guys have heard me come out and speak out for freedom of expression over and over and over and ask you to support it over and over because it's in the Constitution. You have the right, they have the right, and if you want to take away their right to freedom of expression, your right is next to be taken away. Trust me. And I talked about this, first they came for the Nazis, then they came for Alex Jones. And when they came for Alex Jones, and when they came for the Nazis, and even before that, when they were talking about, I don't know, they were talking, this is coming a long time. I told you, this is all going to boil down to you can't say what you want to say about Israel. And that's what Roy Blunt just said. He said, this anti-Israel activity.
The fourth part of the package we're talking about is another thing that we can do in our support of Israel. There is a group of people who are seeking to target Israel through a series of boycotts and disinvestments and sanctions. These are not usually government, they're individuals and institutions trying to harm Israel by boycotting any kind of business there. This anti-Israel activity is shameful. Those who promote it should be penalized.
Those who promote this anti-Israel activity should be punished. Okay, so expressing your opinion about Israel's activities in the West Bank, Israel's activity in Gaza. If you want to express your opinion for that, you should be punished according to the senator. Now, again, this is a man who put his hand on a Bible and swore to the Lord Jesus that he would protect these sacred rights, this vow. He took this vow. It should be one of the most important vows he's ever taken in his life. He put his hand on the Bible. He didn't put his hand on the Bible when he swore a vow to his wife to be her lawfully wedded husband or whatever. He put his hand on the Bible. He's swearing to God. Okay, so Roy Blunt, you get to burn in hell for all of eternity because that's what you believe, right? So yay, bravo on that. Now, but beyond that, this man must be jailed immediately because he has proven himself to be an enemy to the Constitution, something he promised to be the exact opposite of. And in doing so, he He's saying that you no longer have the right to say what you want to say about this country over here. So does that mean next you're not allowed to say what you want to say about Saudi Arabia? And after that, you're not allowed to say, what you want to say about Japan or China or, you know, the United States? Are you going to not be allowed to say what you want to say about the United States government from now on? Because you should be penalized. And this is a deal. Once they put a law in the books that says you should be penalized by this, they'll go, oh, you know what? That law is not having enough effect. We need to make the penalty more. So now, right now, they're saying, oh, you can't get government contracts if you do this. If you do this, you can't get any government. If you speak out, if you show support for the boycott, divest, and sanction of Israel movement, you cannot get government contracts. That's what they're saying the punishment is going to be right now. And then it's so easy to go, oh, well, that punishment's not enough. We need to expand on that punishment. So easy. You know that they change penalties all the time. So this is completely unconstitutional, and anyone who votes for it should be considered not only an enemy to the Constitution, but an enemy to all mankind, because anyone who wants to suppress your freedom of expression is a threat to all mankind. As I said, what's next? You can't talk about 9/11? Is that what's next? Because this is the proverbial slippery slope. And this is what I say. I fight for your freedom. I'm here day in, day out fighting for your freedom. Okay? No one's ever going to keep me. I immediately came out upon this law, this bill, this saying that you can't, you should be punished for the support of the boycott, divest, and sanction of Israel movement. I immediately came out, as soon as it started becoming in the media, I immediately came out and said, I am now proudly banned from Israel because I'm speaking out in favor of this movement on YouTube. Okay, and I get called anti-Semitic, and I get called a Nazi for supporting free speech, and then I get called pro-Trump, and then I get called pro-Hillary, and then I get called liberal, and then I get called conservative, and then I get called pro-war, and then I get called one idiot label after another. Okay, I am pro-freedom. And anybody who threatens my freedom or your freedom is the biggest enemy I have to take down. Over and over and over again, I have come out here and spoken about it wholeheartedly, doing my best to tell you where I stand, how I feel, what I think, and speaking truth to power. George W. Bush, Dick Cheney, Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, all these places. And here's what's really important, is that I see this censorship as something that's being put in place now and voted on now because Israel is about to expand war. Israel's about to bomb the fuck out of Iran, probably. And it's going to lead to bad things. And the last thing that they want is you saying Israel is the cause of all this turmoil. And you saying that should be punished. Listen to the senator. The senator is making clear where he stands on your First Amendment rights.
This anti-Israel activity is shameful. Those who promote it should be penalized.
And this is what I've said about all these lawmakers again and again. They're not there protecting your freedom. They're governing it. They're making sure you don't get too out of control with your freedom. That's what they're doing. That's what they believe their job is, not to protect the Constitution and your rights, just to make sure you don't get too out of control with them. And anyone who votes for this 1.S bill must be jailed immediately because they have shown to be enemies of the Constitution and enemies to all mankind because they want to suppress your freedom of expression. And that, again, is the proverbial slope. It starts with this tiny thing and it just gets so much bigger. And that is not what the Constitution was about. That is not what our country was founded on. And people need to speak out immediately and say, this senator, you people in Missouri need to say, this senator needs to go to jail. We want him impeached immediately and put into prison because he did exactly the opposite. He violated his sacred oath. Basically, he's a traitor to all mankind, not just Americans, but especially Americans, but all mankind. There's over 8,600 videos on this one Mox News YouTube page. It takes a great deal of time and effort to do that. I come out here 48 hours ago and I beg you for help. Not one single person gives not one single penny. And I just keep posting videos and keep posting videos. If you think that's going to continue, you're wrong. If you think that I can come out here and beg you for help after I give and give and give and give to this community for 15 years and beg you for help so that I can continue to serve you and the rest of this community, and you equate me to a guy standing on the corner with a sign that says, "We'll work for food." If that's who you are, why are you here? Okay? Because you're here because I offer you something of value. I've spent tens of thousands of hours of my life giving to this community. I come out here and I beg you to please, if you could kick down for lunch, please. That would be super generous of you. I beg you for my lunch, and no one gives a single penny. How long do you think you would survive at that job? 48 hours a week? I've been doing it for 15 years because it's the right thing to do. Because I'm good at it. Because if I wasn't here, there are things you would never see. Important things. You really willing to just give that up? You really think that should be equated to a guy standing on the corner with a sign that says, "We'll work for food"? You really think that's fair? Because if you do, I need to find other people to serve. Thanks for tuning in. My name's Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. It is easy to make a donation at moxnews.com, or there are clickable links in the text body of this video. It should take you less than 2 minutes to give something back. Stay cool. One of these days, this war is going to end. It'd be really wonderful if Mox News could celebrate that day with you.